If you've tried magnesium, melatonin, white noise, and the perfect bedtime routine, and you still can't sleep, this episode is for you. Because the problem often isn't effort, it's the rules you're playing by. And the more you try to force sleep, the more your brain learns, bed equals struggle. CBTI is the evidence-backed, adult answer to chronic insomnia. Not because it's trendy, but because it targets the real drivers: sleep drive, circadian timing, and conditioned wakefulness. So today we're giving you a step-by-step insomnia blueprint. No gimmicks, no magical supplements, and no, just relax, advice that makes you want to throw your phone. First, let's get clear on what insomnia actually is. There are three common patterns: trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, and waking too early. And if it happens 3 or more nights a week for 3 months or longer, that's chronic insomnia territory. That's not a bad week. That's a system that needs a reset. Now here's the model that makes the whole video make sense. Sleep is governed by two forces. One is sleep drive, the pressure that builds the longer we're awake. The other is the circadian clock, the timing system that tells your body when it expects sleep and wakefulness. Insomnia gets sticky when we accidentally sabotage both. We spend too much time in bed, which weakens sleep drive. And we keep irregular timing, which confuses the clock. Then we add a third ingredient: hyperarousal. Your brain stays on watch like it's guarding the house from a threat that is tomorrow's email. This is why sleep hacks often fail. Sleep hygiene is supportive, but it doesn't fix conditioned wakefulness. If your bed has become the place you scroll, worry, clock watch, negotiate with life, and rehearse disasters, your brain starts treating the bed like a desk. And desks are not known for their sleep-inducing energy. CBTI fixes this by changing what the bed means and how time in bed works. The two biggest levers are stimulus control and sleep window work. These are the rules people resist at first, because they sound counterintuitive. And then they work, because your brain loves clear rules. Let's start with stimulus control, the simplest and most powerful reset. Here are the rules. Go to bed only when you're sleepy, not when the clock says you should. Use the bed only for sleep and sex, not for doom scrolling or solving the economy. If you can't fall asleep in about 15 to 20 minutes, get out of bed. Not forever, just long enough to break the association between bed and wakefulness. Go somewhere dim and boring. Read something light, listen to a calm podcast, do a gentle breathing drill. Then return to bed only when you feel sleepy again. Repeat as needed. And here's the hardest rule for many people: set a consistent wake time, every single day. Weekends included, within reason. We know that sounds rude. But a consistent wake time is the anchor that stabilizes your clock and helps sleep drive build predictably. Now let's talk about the big one: sleep restriction therapy, also called sleep window work. This is not random sleep deprivation. This is a structured way to stop spending hours awake in bed and rebuild strong sleep pressure. The early win is usually less awake time, not instantly more total sleep. Here's how to do it in a simple, safe way at home. Step 1. Pick a fixed wake time you can keep for 2 weeks. Step 2. Estimate your average actual sleep time, not your time in bed. If you're in bed for 8 hours but only sleeping 6.5, your sleep ability is about 6.5. Step 3. Set your time in bed to match your sleep ability, with a minimum safety floor that keeps you functional. For many adults, that floor is often around 5.5 to 6 hours. But if you have safety-sensitive work, seizure risk, bipolar disorder, or you're medically fragile, do this with a clinician. Then you count backward from your fixed wake time to set your bedtime. That's your sleep window. This is the part that feels backward. You're telling us to spend less time in bed, to sleep more. Yes, because your body can't learn bed equals sleep if you're practicing being awake in bed every night for hours. We're reducing the practice reps of wakefulness. During the first week, expect some sleepiness. That's not failure, that's sleep drive rebuilding. The goal is to consolidate sleep, not to chase perfect 8 hours immediately. Many people notice the first major win is fewer long-awake stretches at night. Now, how do you adjust the sleep window? We use sleep efficiency as the guide. Sleep efficiency is simply time asleep divided by time in bed. If your sleep gets more efficient, meaning less time awake in bed, you can slowly expand the window. If it's still inefficient, you tighten it slightly. Small changes, week to week, not dramatic swings night to night. Now let's solve the problem everyone complains about. Our body is tired but our brain won't shut off. That's where the cognitive off-ramp comes in. We don't do problem solving in bed. We schedule it earlier, on purpose, like an appointment with your own mind. We call this worry time, and it's weirdly powerful. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes in the early evening. Write down what you're worried about, and write the next action. Not the full life solution. Just the next action. Then you're training your brain to stop using bedtime as your planning meeting. Bedtime is not a boardroom. If a worry pops up at night, we use the same move. We already handled this during worry time. If it's important, it goes on tomorrow's list. That's not denial, that's boundary setting for your nervous system. Now let's talk about a modern landmine, tracking. Sleep diaries can help. Wearables can help with timing and consistency. But they can also make insomnia worse, because they misclassify quiet wakefulness as sleep and encourage perfectionism. If a sleep score makes you anxious, it stops being a health tool and becomes a stress tool. So here's the longevity compass tracking rule. Track behaviors, not nightly judgments. We care about consistent wake time, time in bed, caffeine timing, alcohol timing, evening light exposure, and whether you got out of bed during long awakenings. That's the data that changes outcomes. Now, the sleep hacks can still exist, but they're the supporting cast, not the lead actor. A cool room, a dark room, and quieter sleep can help. But if you're spending 9 hours in bed trying to force 6 hours of sleep, no amount of lavender spray is going to outmuscle that mismatch. Let's make this practical with a 2-week blueprint you can actually follow. Week 1 is the behavioral reset. Pick your fixed wake time and keep it. Use stimulus control every time you're awake too long. Set a sleep window that matches your true sleep ability. Week 1 also means no naps, if you can avoid them. We know this is hard, but naps can steal sleep drive from the night, especially during the reset phase. If you absolutely must nap for safety, keep it short and early. But treat it like medicine, not a hobby. Week 2 is the refinement. Keep the same wake time. Keep stimulus control. Keep worry time. Then adjust the sleep window slightly based on your trend, not based on one bad night. Insomnia is a pattern problem, so we fix it with pattern consistency. Now we need to talk about when insomnia isn't just insomnia. Because if we ignore this, we miss people who need medical evaluation. If you snore loudly, gasp or choke in sleep, wake up with headaches, have excessive daytime sleepiness, or your partner reports breathing pauses, get checked for sleep apnea. And yes, many women present more like insomnia and fatigue than the classic stereotype. If you feel an urge to move your legs at night, with uncomfortable sensations that worsen at rest and improve with movement, think restless legs syndrome. That often deserves an iron check and a real plan, because just relax doesn't fix a nervous system that's begging you to move. Also consider circadian mismatch. If you sleep well on your natural schedule but poorly when you force an early bedtime, the issue might be your clock, not your character. And if insomnia is tied to depression, anxiety, chronic pain, menopause symptoms, medication effects, or alcohol use, we still use the CBTI framework, but we also address the driver. Here's the 1-minute rescue plan for the middle of the night, because this is where people panic. If you're awake and frustrated, we get out of bed. We keep lights dim. We do something boring and calming. We return only when sleepy. And we refuse to negotiate with the clock. Because clock watching trains your brain to treat the night like a performance review. And sleep is not a performance. It's a biological process that shows up when the conditions and rules are right. Here's the longevity compass bottom line. If you're stuck in insomnia, the fix is rarely one more supplement. The fix is rebuilding sleep drive and stabilizing your clock, while retraining your bed to mean sleep again. Stimulus control and sleep window work are the engine. Everything else is supportive. If this episode helped, hit like and subscribe so we can keep building evidence-based longevity systems that work in real life. Check the description for the tools we use, our Longevity Compass Amazon KDP book, and the simple 2-week checklist. And comment CBTI if we're running this reset with you this week.